Hey, my
Now you can talk, Jason.
No, you can't. Jason, shut up. Hello. Welcome to D&D Splitting. I'm Bad Moon. I'm the DM here. I play some good guys, mostly bad guys, tricksy guys. We're going to play some D&D today. Who do I have to my right?
Oh, I'm on the right side. Hey, I'm Jason the X. Nice to meet y'all. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Jason the X. There.
Who are you
Hi.
playing today?
I am playing Alibral Jarud, a Dragonborn cleric. Pleasure to meet all of you. Pleasure.
Yes, very serious.
No.
Try to be serious.
Hi, I'm Mia. I play Ronnie, an Air Ganassi Ranger, and you cannot find me online. I'm hidden.
Yeah. Hello! My name is Cass. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TheGoodCass, and I'm playing Octavia Van Darwin, a high elf monk.
And I am Cora. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CoroDonoArt. And I am going to be playing Brana, who is a Asama rogue. And Asama rogue, whatever. Grammar.
You can find me on, Twitter and Instagram. Sometimes at BetterCat. I would like to take a second for our sponsors. Here's where we're going to put the sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor.
Mr. Mrs.
Imagine you could be here.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
Your
We
ad
will
here.
Shill for anything we like, and we like a lot of things.
We like so many things.
most
Easy to
things.
please. Low
Almost
standards.
anything.
Especially if they're really pretty dice. Like, we will definitely
I can't imagine anything I would rather shill for than a dice company.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, even like minis. Minis would be awesome. Terrain would be awesome. Dice? We all have dice.
My little
problems.
goblin.
Yeah.
My little goblin brain goes
Nobody
clack clack
here-
sound.
Yeah.
Nobody here doesn't like dice
Yeah.
a decent amount. Anyway, hit me up, badmoon@supercoolnerdshow.com to email me and tell me you want to give me money or dice. Even just one dice. One
In
die.
exchange for no goods, but services.
Services that look like, hey, dice company. I only use these. I only ever have. I pay full price. And with that, we're going to jump into episode 16. Session 16. I can't believe we're only 16 in.
Seriously.
Like,
It feels like more.
it does.
In like a good way, though.
Yeah, I stopped recently and I was like, is everybody okay that I feel like I'm just getting started? And they were like, yeah, that's fine.
I apologize for not having episode 15 up on the YouTube channel until this morning.
How dare you?
It's a little bit of why they decided it would be ideal if Kat wasn't in charge of unmuting mine.
It's
That's
only
my bad.
half of the entire broadcast.
No,
Jason,
I feel
like, no.
good because I talked more in that top half than I've ever talked before, and I was like, at least it was like mostly my stuff, so I didn't feel as bad about that. But
Honestly, leaving the mic, you just joined the leaving the mics off club that Cora and I have been a part of, so one of us.
dude, and my job this last.
I have never failed to unmute the mic.
Have you ever done it?
No.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you now, I can't even tell you anything because I know exactly how you feel right now, except it gets better.
Yeah,
No,
like
it doesn't. We regret it every day.
Every single day.
at my last job, I was in charge of shooting my video production manager, who I was speaking about earlier. He doesn't like to be in front of camera, but he recognized that he had a lot of voice and that he absolutely should do one of these videos. I shot him for 2 hours, and then we realized we cut the very tippy top of his head off, so we had to do it again. I've never felt so bad in my entire life. Anyway, so last session, you guys arrived at Alabroth's hometown, Blackrest. You almost immediately went to the fighting pits in what is it called? What is it called? Do you have the map?
Black
I do have the map.
No, the
Or
pits.
Something alley.
Yeah, something with cold, like
There we go.
icicle or frostbite.
Frostbite Alley.
Frostbite.
Look at her map. I love this.
Oh my
It's
god,
like
look at
ooh.
my galaxy brain. I remembered 2/3 of the name.
It's like having this in hand just makes me think about the gay pirate show that I've gotten
So many
into.
wrinkles in your brain.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Frostbite Alley, and you saw a fight between your friend Mac's wife and Cass's mentor Ember, with it coming down to a roll of a single dice and his wife Sylvie actually won, which was kind of fun. So you met up with Ember, you went to a hotel, and then Alabroth went home, and then he ended up bringing you all to meet his family, which went pretty well, with some like moments here and there that were a little awkward for them, but like he was a big family, a lot of dynamics going on, and then you guys went and stayed back at the hotel, and Alabroth stayed with his family, and then met you up in the morning, and all of you, along with Ember, took off the next morning to go headed towards the Dormer mines to find the king.
Oh boy.
It takes about the morning to get to the mine, and so we left off with you right in front of the entrance to the mine, eating lunch, stopping for a brief break before you go inside. So, I would like to mention that in the ascent and in this time of year, by the time you get up there is snow on the ground. It is pretty chilly up there. And so like the mine is, there's this plateau is probably about 30 feet of just flat area, and a plateau that has been, you're not sure if it was always that way. Doesn't look like it's been like bombed into existence or anything. But it had been pretty steep uphill for most of the morning. You're above the tree line, but only barely. So Amber looks around, and just as you guys are wondering, like, is there really time to do this whole like fire thing? She had like, she looks around for a few minutes. She gets a giant piece of wood, and she just like takes her hand. She looks, and she squats down next to the log, and she just kind of circles her hand around, and then just instantly starts a fire.
That's so cool.
And she's like, yes. Cool. And so you guys sit down and have
I
lunch.
could have done that.
Good, you know.
Well, it'd probably been a lot larger, not as controlled, but I can start a fire.
Could you do it that quickly?
No, I couldn't.
Do you feel, do
She's
you feel
actually quite
threatened?
good at it. More impressed that she was able to do it very well.
Okay.
This is part of what they teach me. I'm different kind of monk and study different things than Octavian.
Yeah, it's strictly more of a, I want to be able to do that one day.
Did they teach you at the monastery?
Well, no, not exactly, because there was no monastery when I started being monk with them. We were just, tent. They taught me a tent.
Who?
Oh, I don't even remember his name. It was maybe 150 years ago.
Did they call them monasteries before monks existed, or vice versa?
We found name of monastery, concept of monastery exists from children after sanitatum events, apparently, but we didn't have building for. So they call monastery to order at first, and then they realized monastery is building, so now it's building. I don't know which came first.
Okay.
But no, Octavia choose specialty. So everybody have different specialty. Well, not everybody. There are a few specialties.
I didn't think that was available.
Mm. She's like, she kind of looks at you for a second, and she's like, I mean, they was available. Did you, and you realize that, like, that it's a greater chance that they started training you a little bit into the area that you're in now, it wasn't maybe unavailable, but the way they were kind of like, and these are the more magic people. You didn't think you were a magic person, so it wasn't maybe strictly that. And she's like, and sometimes they're not great at, like, many times they are right about specialty that someone wants, and sometimes they're not very super clear on why.
That, I mean,
Do you guys know how to build fire?
Sure.
So it sounds like maybe
Flint stick small.
they figured that the one that you're in now was more your aptitude.
Hmm. I mean, are you interested in magic? I mean, it's not magic. It's certain amount of channeling is different from like how you go for Ronnie.
I just didn't think it was. Yes, I am.
And she's like, okay, well, it is a little rare for someone to change specialties, but you have not been out in the world for very long. Like a monastery, which is like a month now, maybe.
Yeah.
With the traveling and the hanging out with your companions, and she's like,
I didn't think this was really part of the world.
When you say this, what do you mean?
Magic.
Make an insight check for me.
It's pretty good. And my insight's pretty good. 25.
With a 25, you feel like you're getting a little bit better of a handle on Ember.
Yeah.
Her face registers a brief, like, just surprise. It's not disapproval. It's not anything. She's a little surprised that you didn't think that magic was a bigger part of the world, but she's not like,
Yeah.
how could that happen? She's just like, oh.
I didn't know anyone that could do it. Now he's got all sorts of stuff. You got things that are just in your thing. It's just like a thing that you do. I didn't know that until yesterday. I literally learned that less than 24 hours ago.
Okay, that's fair.
You didn't know what?
I didn't know that. Like, I knew people did.
The wire thing?
And I'll cast message. I'll be like, this is magic, I guess. And then I'll put it back down.
Ember goes, ah.
I thought it was
Like a cell phone.
like you sweat into and it goes. And it just, I don't know.
She sits there for a second. And she's
I
like,
bet she does.
and she goes, magic is not separate from world. There is not this world that understand and then magic over here. Magic is part of things. It's part of how the world works. That's why wizards can cast it all.
I thought your main magic was that you punch.
Well, that's a very
Like-
recent addition to her arsenal.
That's not like, is that, I guess?
Like cool punches, not just like a normal punch.
I suppose.
I tried to punch spirit.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
I don't think she's had the opportunity yet.
I know the answer to that question.
Hey, what
You
about
haven't. You
the-
just got it recently.
Yeah, Octavia's trying to remember.
The one in the forest. Oh, no, you took the
that
stick
was
and...
corporeal.
Also, it's very corporeal.
It
It's
was
very
corporeal.
stab
It was,
Yeah.
it was very, very corporeal.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Is it a spirit if it's corporeal?
I think no. I think those are.
Those are different
Mutually
things.
exclusive.
Yeah, I think if you you have a spirit in you. I pull from sort of my spirit, but I think that it's separate.
No.
That's
Call the
why.
spirit
That's why
guardians.
your
I need
punches
that.
are cool.
It's not separate. Pulled from spirit, like, all things are what is magic to other people, kind of. He does different magic from God. He does different magic from Jen.
So I could do magic from my
you
spirit.
already do magic from monks, from training. You could learn other magic if you want. Sometimes in concentration of different magic, you lose some abilities that currently have.
Like punching real hard? Or like
No,
or the
Some
the
consider
wire
that a
thing?
skill.
no. For monks is some of the things she can do with like pushing and pulling. I think maybe different. Or
Could you teach me maybe just a little?
sure. And you guys have just sat down.
Yeah.
Consider this real time, so like 5 minutes, and you guys are going to take about a half an hour. So she takes the next like 25 minutes or so, like kind of in between bites, and she's able to teach you. Well, roll a
Ooh.
roll. I need to have all the skills up in front of me all the time. Roll me a
Survival.
no.
Probably not. Maybe.
Oh, let me look at your stats, actually. I need to do better at this. I always run out of things to choose. Okay. So, Octavia, roll me a...
It's very clever.
Arcana. Check.
18.
Okay,
With a
she's,
17 on the die.
you are... she's getting... She's going to... You feel inspired in her presence. Roll a d6 for me. If you can hit a 20...
Woo! That's a 3. That's exactly a 20. Or no, it's 21 because it was 18. Yeah.
She's able to teach you the elemental attunement portion of it.
Ooh.
Octavia might be switching specialties.
No.
So that's Earth. No,
It's
hold
the
on. Yeah.
prestidigitation
Wind,
one.
fire, water.
Basically, yeah. I can control to a very small extent. Yeah, those things.
You guys sit out there and I don't know, how do you guys feel
Then the fire
watching,
shit.
observing somebody learn anything about magic?
I think it's fun. Like, I find it interesting.
I'm very interested, and I want to see what you can do with wind.
What can you do with wind?
I can create a small gust, I believe. Do we have an extra player's handbook?
No.
I don't know where it is right now.
Mine's at home.
I have 2 of them at home. Why is neither one of them here?
I mean, it's a very small, like, of wind. Basically the same that you could do with prestidigitation. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So essentially, she can give herself like an anime wind gust, but just once, instead of it being
Yeah.
continual.
She could hit a stoic pose and do like a...
Exactly.
That's exactly what she does.
You can imitate Ronnie's breeze for a second.
Yeah. I kind of look, and that's, I think, one of the things I kind of look at you. I'm like, except it's a type rate, so.
Admittedly, Albroth kind of goes like... Impressive, yes.
It's kind of fun, I think, for everybody to see, like, Octavia doesn't usually love being, like, super vulnerable about things, and her just kind of, like, really almost forgetting any of that in her desire to learn something new that was presented to her in ways that would make sense to her, because it kind of makes you miss the monastery, I think, in some ways, because they're very good at, like, knowing where you are and being like, so this is how we do this. But yeah, just able to teach you that. And what is, do you know what your water one is?
I can create a spray of light mist. I can also create a 1-foot cube that will shape itself into a kind of small form. So I'll try and use water to kind of come up from the ground and create the shape of Ronnie, and then it goes back.
Well, should, like, at the end of the whatever, when you're just trying to do the water one, which is the last of the ones because she's teaching you right now. Like,
Just the water freeze.
she asks you, like, maybe try and put out campfire because you're about
Okay.
to go.
I'll try and do that.
Roll. You're not gonna have to roll every time you do this, but roll a performance check. It's not gonna be. It's not that hard to
Does
do
it have
this.
to be
It
performance?
does, but it's not a hard thing to do. So.
Oh, it's a 15.
Yeah, that's fine.
Minus 1. 14.
That's fine. That's enough to put out the fire. And
not
then
gonna perform it.
roll a perception check. All of you can roll a perception check if you want.
Oh, okay. Well,
But you roll yours at
15.
disadvantage if you're trying to do the thing.
I'm glad I didn't need to perceive.
I got a natural 20 and a 1.
13.
Okay.
Hold on.
Super well.
I had to find my thing.
She's concentrating on putting out the fire.
13.
What all of you notice, and Octavia very much does not, is that Ember took a step back and kind of like
Oh!
just over the very tail end of it, to just make sure it was all the way out. Like she put
Yeah.
out the fire, but with Ember kind of like the coals are out, everything's out,
Yeah.
and she just like took a very subtle like one step. Octavia's like.
That was quite impressive.
She
you.
glances around at the other three of you like,
Like, say nothing.
and she goes, that's good. Like, it takes
I did it.
some practice to just get very familiar with where it's not so hard. But, yes. Okay. And you guys have really enjoyed it. The sun's out, but it's kind of mild, like winter sun. There's about like an inch of snow on the ground maybe, and it kind of smells crisp and cold, and yeah, that kind of thing we don't get here.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, unless we want the whole state to be destroyed again.
it did smell crisp and cool.
It did. Because
I mean, if you went outside.
And a little bit of dread, but anyway.
some of us didn't have a choice.
So, are we ready to do this?
Yes.
Okay, so the entrance of the mine is like, it's wooden framed. It's maybe like
Classic.
probably
mine.
like a good 15 feet off the ground for the top of the entrance, because dragonborn are very large, and sometimes they've had help from even like orcs and Goliaths and stuff, so it needs to be nice and tall, and it's pretty wide. You guys head inside. What is your, I'm just going to get order for, and then you can tell me if you're going to switch around.
What kind of light are we looking at?
You don't know before you get in there. Like,
Oh.
but the entrance, well, the entrance is wide enough that you know that dark's not something you're going to immediately confront, but it is a dormant mine.
But of course, I'm going to casually just put my hand on Octavia's back and just go like, mhm.
Yeah, I'll go
Let's go.
first. I'll go first.
You can see in the dark. So-
I will also walk with her. I have dark vision.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't y'all, the two people who can
Maybe
see in
we
the dark,
do-
not team up?
Front and back.
Yeah.
Ember can stay in the back. She can see in the dark.
Okay, so me,
So, that's fine.
and
Like,
I'll,
you two
I'll
know.
back them up.
cleric in the middle,
Yeah.
preferably.
In
Yeah.
case you need to hit bless or something, just to get everybody.
Or if I run into a giant spike.
Mountain
Made
is
of
one of my favorite terrains.
I'm so glad you said that. What is your favorite enemy?
Huh?
What is your favorite enemy?
My favorite enemy?
Yeah, like type. You have a favorite.
I have multiples.
Type. What is this, like Tinder for
Humanoids, which includes humans, goblinoids, and elvish, and then monstrosities.
Okay. But yeah, you have mountains, so what does that mean?
You have a favored terrain type. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for proficient skills when you make an int or wisdom check related to it. While traveling for an hour or more in your chosen terrain, difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. You remain alert to danger even when you are engaged in another activity. You can move stealthily at a normal pace while alone. You find twice as much food while foraging and while tracking creatures. You learn the exact number, sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area. And mountain is one of mine.
Okay. You're not. I guess you are tracking. No, you're not tracking anything yet. Like.
No, I just wanted to
Yeah.
confirm that being in a mine would be considered mountain, since the mine is in a mountain. There's not a there's not a terrain type called mine, so.
There's not. I'm trying to figure out if it's like. I think mountain. Yeah, I think it would be because I don't think there's like caverns or.
I don't know.
The only
I
thing
can
is
get it off.
Underdark.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Underdark.
But I don't think we're in the Underdark.
You're not.
Hopefully we're
that
not
would be
in the
cool.
Underdark.
Well, not right now.
You went 30.
No, I
you
don't
went
think it
30
is.
feet into a mine.
Congratulations, you're in the Underdark.
But you see, like.
Driders just.
No. Oh, no. Driders are fine. Spiders are not.
Driders are.
Hmm? Driders.
Yellow babies.
Snap.
Yeah.
You walk into
Driders
the,
are spider people.
I know.
Stop the leg.
Yeah, you literally made one.
It's like you said, spiders are not your baby.
I believe it's still over in the bestiary. Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
There's
it
going
is.
to be spiders in a mine. Sorry.
I
It's
am.
not going to be
That's
like
what fire is
baby
for.
things you don't fight. But like,
Braun is not scared of spiders. I'm scared of spiders.
Yeah, we went at it with spiders like the first thing we fought. So.
Did not.
Anyway.
Did not.
What Alabroth knows is that within the mines, tends to get cramped pretty fast. He knows that like goblins are typically goblins, sometimes halflings, sometimes gnomes, are what do the deepest of the mining by virtue of being very small. He's probably not super familiar with this mine beyond just like knowing that it's here. But yeah, he knows it starts out big, tends to get small fast. And the longer it was used, the bigger the entrance is, but that doesn't reflect throughout. So you guys walk in, and immediately inside you realize like you could have had lunch in here, like if you wanted, and it didn't really matter. But inside is pretty big. Like at first, it's kind of cavernous, and it goes actually out from the entrance and kind of closes around. There's there's kind of snow that's blown in from the outside, and then like Alabroth tells you that for the first little while it will keep getting like narrower and then expand again as they get to different.
Is the temperature colder in here or colder outside?
It is colder
Okay.
outside at the very first.
Oh.
And then by the time you're 80 feet into the mine, 120 feet, like, narrows, and it's pretty dark. By the time you're a couple hundred feet in the mine, it's starting to get colder in the mine than it is
Okay.
outside.
I thought it was getting warmer for a second. I was like, oops.
Dragon.
No, Geos. Geo. Sorry. I'm going to shut up now. Anyway.
And
I know
what-
about buildings. I don't know what you're talking about.
The other thing that Alabroth knows is that this was a platinum mine. They mine platinum and sometimes nickel because you find those strains together. That's how the threads or the veins or the whatever they're called works. And he knows and probably shares, maybe shares.
Yeah, I'm telling them pretty much everything.
One of the reasons they shut down this mine is because it was pretty dangerous. They didn't care about the lives cost from the Lacros side. And so even as the mine had started to dry up, they'd continue to push it. But when in the war, and then especially since the war's been over, the citizens of Rextera are not so keen to like send people in when there's not that much of a reward for the risk. It's really, there's a lot of resentment from some people about, and it's that kind of situation where you start to realize probably the two of you weren't even really super aware of, it's like when you get old enough to realize that America's not great about kind of how they've handled some stuff, and it's like, oh, this really was, it's kind of eye-opening. This really was all about what they wanted and not what the citizens wanted or what was good for the area.
It was just exploitation.
Am I seeing any evidence of people having come through here relatively recently?
Everybody roll me a survival check.
Oh. All of us
13.
are just...
17.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a 9.
Not worthy of note. 10. Oh wait, nope, that is not the correct skill. 2.
Dope.
So I got a 17.
Yeah, I think what Ronnie alone recognizes is, you know that you have skills, I assume you have skills that allow your group to magically hide their trails. Pass without trace. Or at least you're familiar with it. I think you'd have it. I'll get it.
I would be familiar with it. I don't think I have it yet.
Yeah, with the score that you have, though, with your ability check being the highest, you recognize that something may have obscured their tracks through it.
Okay. I will relay to the party that someone might have been through here and tried to hide it.
And I will say that because you are a ranger, like, you know it wasn't super recent. You think it's been at least a week or two. So, do you have any light? Are you...
I can cast light. I will...
Can you cast it on my staff?
Beep.
Thank you.
On your stuff or your staff?
Staff. My staff. Staff? Staff.
Yeah.
Staff.
That was literally just me mishearing.
No, I know.
I promise.
The thing about mine, they get very dark very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll also, since I'm towards the front, cast light on... Oh, no, you're up there with me. You can cast light on stuff too, right?
I do not have that as one of my prepared spells.
Okay. I'll, trudge back there and, cast light on your shield and then go back.
If it's not prepared, no, I can't. I mean,
Yeah,
unless...
but, you're not supposed to re-prepare your cantrips every day.
Huh? I mean, I'm...
Light a cantrip?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, I do have... No, it is still there. I can cast light, sorry. I thought I got rid of it, but I know that's pretty useful, so...
No, you don't... Cantrips are the only things you don't... Most of them say prepare. They don't give you the option in the normal spells list to just unprepare and prepare. You can unlearn it, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not a big deal.
Okay, well, no, I do have light, so...
Stop.
Yeah, well,
Stop.
Well, I lit your staff.
Oh, yeah.
But it would probably be a good idea. Probably be a good idea if we had a light back there as well, just in case.
Anyone volunteer?
I still don't think y'all should be at the front. Maybe one of you, but
I would
I
be-
should
Well, Ember's in the back with
Ember's in
dark vision.
I know. I'm talking about. I'm the ranger.
I'll switch places with you so that you're right behind. Are you all the way in the very, very back?
No, because Ember's in the very, very back. But if
What
I'm
did you-
going to see traces, I'm not going to see them after y'all have stomped all over
Yeah.
them.
Here.
I just kind of moved to the side. And,
Yeah. We switch places.
I will say right away, what you know is that for a while there will be main paths and there will be side paths. Immediately, you getting colder in there, you guys can see for whatever length you can. Do you think that you stay on the main path initially? Are you trying to go off and explore sides? What are you doing? Because for a minute it's going to be clear which one's the main.
Yeah, I would probably look for if I see any traces or signs of someone having tried to cover their traces off of the paths, but not leaving them if I don't see anything that looks recent enough to be of note.
So the first one, you probably stop for a second, kind of look at it. The problem with it, like, the first one is, yes, obviously, like, many things have been through. The main path has some obscuring to it, but the side paths, like, don't seem to have a lot. But there's a ton of traces of people coming through there.
How recent are they, though?
They shut down this mine, like, maybe not that long ago. Maybe, like, a couple months ago they shut it. Maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago they shut it down. So there are tracks of things. You also know that Alabroth's father, like, sends security detail just to kind of check it out and make sure.
Yeah.
But they don't go that deep. So you probably see, along the first few, you see, you recognize kind of like, it's probably not Dragonborn sending down there, but you recognize maybe some standardized, like, kind of boots of a couple different sizes. So you think it might be like a uniform of some sort.
Okay, so like the same tread pattern.
Do you have to roll for any of that stuff?
That's a natural ability.
Okay, never mind then. About to hit her with the guidance.
So there are lots of traces. How long ago did the king go missing?
It was about a month from the end of the war, and the war ended about a month ago, right? No, the war ended like 3 or 4 months ago.
It's not 3 or 4. It's
If this mine was shut down, who's...
Well, because I'm thinking, like, you said your dad sends security through
30
here.
days before the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he would have been kidnapped about 2 months ago.
Okay. Some of this stuff is recent, but the stuff that I saw in, like, a little ways back in the main had been obscured, so I couldn't find out any information about it.
But probably if you
this-
had
I was
kidnapped
gonna
a king.
Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is, like, I was looking for recent traces, but with that having been obscured, I'm thinking what we'll be looking for is a suspicious lack, at least for the first part. Because, I mean, once they get further into the mine, they might not bother with it because no one goes through here anymore. But...
That makes sense to me.
yeah. Okay, so...
Ember?
Ember's like, what? And kind of walks forward, is like, she knows that you guys stopped. She's behind Alabroth.
Yeah.
Giant.
Okay,
Probably
that's
kind of like,
good.
crawl
This is
between his
pretty.
knees.
I'm casually just moving people up and...
Okay, that scans. Thank you for keeping an eye on our behind. What is there another word for that?
I'm sure there probably
Keep an eye on
is.
your behind.
The
That
6
doesn't-
o'clock position is
The
what we
6
call it.
o'clock
Yes.
position.
Yes.
Keeping an
Ember's
eye
like,
on
I
our
was
6.
staring at no one's behind.
Keep an eye on your behind. It's like, right, that's not a phrase. Whatever.
I haven't heard
Okay,
it.
let's go.
It's like when a chicken gets lost and you just run with...
What a weird
You
phrase.
guys-
I don't know much about chickens.
A perception check.
Who make a perception check?
Everybody.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm stopping with this dice. No, never
What'd you
again.
I got a nat 20, and my perception is +4,
Huh?
so 24.
I have to
Where's our
start, like, doing better things, like, in my head somewhere for natural 20s, because, like, I just wanted you guys to hear the dripping of the stalactites.
Okay.
I rolled
And,
a 10.
Yeah, well,
With her.
26.
the
Well,
two of you.
I rolled a 19.
We are so perceptive of the dripping.
Okay, the two of you actually hear. Well, and she rolled a 23, so I guess the three of you hear hear like dripping, just indicating some like kind of damper and more cavernous like areas. That some of this is a cave and some of it's of course, they don't have like Donkey Kong carts to rush through the mines or anything, which I thought about doing.
I'm kind of glad though.
Yeah, they do have kind of like wheelbarrows.
I would have thought to be the one that goes,
So that we could die constantly again. Over
I
and over and
associate
over.
those with you being frustrated.
Yeah.
yeah.
it's a good one.
Although it was really funny
They're
to
my
watch y'all
favorite.
continuously fail.
Oh, yeah, we
I mean, yeah, like
forgot
both of
about
y'all
that, yeah.
failing.
Over and over.
Over
What
and
you're
over
talking
in a
about,
very,
I
very
only
fun way.
succeed.
I don't know
not
what you're
very
talking
good.
about.
And we-
I had a few.
We had a few.
Yeah, I definitely had a few.
But see, that's what made it so funny.
Because, like, I don't remember if you remember, or I don't know if you remember how many selfies you had me take of us.
Even with other people's phones.
Oh, that tracks.
That tracks.
I didn't remember the other people's phones. I remember being very insistent that I'd be in
I remember her using her phone and then being like, no, and then like grabbing
Well, there's your phone, there's my phone, presumably also Jason's phone.
It was just a fun time. Anyway.
That's
Anywho,
what
anywho.
That, so,
Yeah,
so in
yeah.
this mine over here.
If you thought we all hated each other, that is not accurate.
This isn't a stream you can find. Anyway, no. So, and what you guys hear is that an echoing as well, like when you hear it drop, so you know it's about to get like wider for a minute, which is kind of weird. But yeah, basically the sense of this mine's like they keep kind of closing down and opening up. It is like very much like rock. And they did use a number of explosives to hollow it out, but it was in existence for a long time. So at first, there's not a lot of debris. There's not a lot of anything. You can see some of the wheelbarrow tracks like going through
Okay, cool.
from clearing out. And you probably saw outside the mine like they kind of dumped it off one of the sides because yeah, there's nothing down there. You've seen some of where they dumped out like kind of piles going down. Alternate angle. But you walk in and when you get further in, like you walk into the clearing that you'd heard and the light kind of opens up in the bigger space and you look up and you see like all around you, all of a sudden it looks a lot more like, you know that scene in Fight Club with the penguin where it's just like slide and it's this big, all of a sudden it opens up and it's not rock anymore, it's ice.
Is there a penguin in Fight Club?
It's a like a hallucination thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Either way, we
blue
don't talk about it.
and white and gorgeous, like, and is like you got through kind of the peak of one of the mountains, and this is just kind of like perma frozen over, and underneath you is very cold, and there's no like snow, there's still no wind or anything, there's just this giant like ice caves look like almost like ribs, but not ribs, like above you, and it's just this giant hall with even a tiny bit of light getting through from the outside, but like it's weirdly like obscured at some of the parts by you think mountains or parts of it. And it even has a little bit of that, like you don't know how it was created, probably none of you do, but it even has like those, it can freeze in like bubbles almost. So the kind of, a few of these like giant like bubble looking things throughout. And it's maybe the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, Brana is just like,
Ember too, she walks in, she's like, whoa.
Is Ronnie also just like,
Yes.
And then you look ahead and it looks like the ice like narrows in as well, that it's going to be ice for the next little phase of it. Everybody roll me
Okay.
a Constitution check. You know what this one is.
Yeah.
Don't fuck me up,
Pretty good.
please.
Ooh.
Are you?
12.
Ron has a cloak.
15.
17.
3.
Okay, if you guys are going to have to track it on your own. If you fail 3 times, you're going to take a point of exhaustion. So
Okay.
that's your first failure.
Yep, I have a.
So you're starting to feel it a little. When you wrap the cloak around, you're like, I'm good.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. 1 is 2 failures.
1 is 2 failures?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I did roll a 1. So, that's fine.
Nat 20 would erase it.
well, that's never happening. It's fine.
Amber got a nat 20, but like she can't erase one that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
So
She would like to give me her nat 20. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, she wouldn't.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
I'm just kidding. She wouldn't. I won't.
I'm going to grab the cloak and try and use elemental attunement to chill or warm up 1 pound of non-living material for up to an hour. I'm trying to warm the cloak a little bit.
You absolutely can. And I'll let you take a single failure for that instead of a double failure.
Okay.
That will work once.
Thank you.
Yeah, you warm his hood a little, and so like he kind of, and around your neck it feels warmer, and so it's not quite as bad as it would have been.
Thanks.
So you keep heading that way. I'm gonna go ahead, you're going to make a lot of perception or survival checks.
Yep.
So go ahead and make another one.
Perception?
Perception or survival, whatever's best. She rolled a 7, so.
Oh, it's the same for both.
My perception and survival are the same.
14. Yep, me too.
I don't have survival, so perception it is.
22.
Ooh.
1.
8. Get slowly up. All of my dice are
24.
going to jail.
So 22 and 24.
Behold.
And a 1 and an 8 and a 12.
It's very precarious.
Yeah, don't
It's
worry
not
about the
gonna
chair.
work.
Please
It's
keep
fine.
going. Please keep going.
It's fine.
Bring
No,
it
he
closer.
gets a cap and they sit on the chair.
Oh, I want to try.
Okay.
So the two of you, Ronnie and Octavia, notice as you came in, as it narrows again, you see a lot more of that ice, but the light stops coming through. But as you hold the light up, you see that bubbling has gotten more intense, and you kind of wonder about the stability, the bubbling in the ice. It's gotten more it's more bubbles in a small area, and you wonder how stable it is. But you kind of take your quarterstaff and kind of it doesn't appear to be on the verge of collapsing or anything. There's at least a few inches of ice.
Okay.
And you see it's pretty well worn, so there have been people through here a number of times.
Okay.
You keep heading deeper.
Can I roll a perception check to see if it makes us look like we're in a funhouse mirror?
There's not a reflection on the ice, really. That's
I'm
not
so
how.
sorry. I just remember that one scene from Winnie the Pooh where it gets. I'm so sorry.
You've never been in a funhouse. They
Basis
probably
for
are
our technical skill
ideologically
comes
opposed to
directly
them.
from
Y'all be nice.
We are.
I don't know.
Me and Octavia share a brain cell, which is rough.
What you sometimes have to share with Ronnie or Brana.
So,
Sometimes we share a single brain cell, so it's like half each.
Ronnie's very smart. He's just airheaded.
That is awful.
I mean, 13 intelligence.
I mean, my wisdom is 20, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
I was gonna say my int has a bonus.
Oh, I'm dumb.
You keep heading in. You've been in probably quarter of a mile in. Just take it considerably a little bit slower. It's not difficult, but just looking around. And keep heading in. So that the king was in here at some point recently, and probably still is. But you don't know a lot about what you're looking for. The person who was trying to figure stuff out got downed real fast, and so you keep headed in and just kind of trek for probably again the next quarter of a mile, and it's pretty similar throughout. There are sometimes where you're going through a mountain and sometimes where you're going through ice, but it stays pretty chilly. Go ahead and roll another Constitution check.
Come on, baby.
The DC is 10, by the way.
Wait, what
Oh,
are we
God, thank you. 11.
What were we doing?
We're rolling another Constitution check.
Constitution saving throws.
Wait, it was 10?
It-
So if you roll a 10...
With
you
your
still-
Constitution bonus?
No, if you roll
Then
a
I didn't
natural
fail the
one.
last
Oh,
one.
true.
I got a 10 last time. Oh,
For
no,
a second,
got
I
an
was
8.
scared it was
That
a natural one.
okay.
It's a 7.
It's con saving throws.
Okay. Cool. So still only have the 1. So, all right.
I got a 10.
Well, honey, you made it.
9.
You take your second point. You take 2 points.
Okay.
Let's see. Yep. Amber rolled to see if she noticed, and she did not. With the 6.
She's usually so perceptive.
She really is. I rolled a 2. Oh, I guess that would be in. No, it's higher than that. It's 9, but so you keep walking. You're still not hearing a lot. After the next quarter mile, everybody roll another perception check. Sorry, this is survival challenges, guys. This is how these go.
Perception?
Yeah.
20. Dirty, but
Roll 20 or dirty 20?
dirty 20.
21.
18.
12.
Better.
This is better.
You and Ember don't notice a lot. I'm not sure why.
I'm saying let it go.
You are not singing Let It Go.
You're super
I don't
not.
want to tell you what's canon, but if you started singing, Ember's going to shush you.
If you start singing, Ronnie is going to shush you too.
So who rolled a 20? You guys
Dirty
rolled over
20.
20.
Dirty.
21.
Okay. So the Brana thinks they heard something, but they're not sure. The two of you hear off into the side passages some sounds of very minor scuffling. You're not close enough yet to hear what it is. You know it's not a lot of things. But something or someone is down one of these side passages.
Okay, immediately I stop walking and do the...
Okay, I'm gonna go stealth down that way.
I'm going to go ahead and take the hammer off and just kind of back her up. Also, hey, I don't know how
Would you
spellcasting
like
works.
the rogue to go with you?
Bless is concentration, so it stays up.
I would
Well, this
go
would be a
down
check to
stealth
maybe guidance.
instead of y'all, since I can move at pace, but I need to be far away
Yeah,
in order
okay.
to hit stuff.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna touch Octavia's shoulder and guidance.
Your stealth's probably a lot better than mine.
Okay.
Guidance and just, I don't know. I'm gonna hit him all with bless.
Okay.
It's gonna stay up anyway. So, bless at second levels.
Guidance concentration?
Guidance is I can't do 2 at a time.
You can't do
Not if they're
two
concentration.
concentration at a
Guidance is
time.
Concentration up to 1 minute. Yeah.
I think they both are.
Yeah, they both are.
Guidance would be very helpful, though.
And I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with guidance for now. Then I'll save the bliss.
And we're gonna go stealth.
You guys are gonna separate? Not separate, like it's splitting up the party.
I mean, for
I'm not telling you.
50 feet.
Yeah, we're just going forward a little bit to see what we can find.
Because the two of you heard and two of you rolled over, like you rolled over 20, it's not 50 feet.
Okay.
It's maybe several hundred. Like, there's not a lot of way to know, like,
Okay.
how far it is. And so it's up to you.
Either way,
There's
we're gonna-
too much echo in here to know how
And, like,
far.
you can get 50 feet down and know that there's nothing there. That's totally fine. That's
Okay.
within your capabilities. So
I'll
at
just-
50 feet, you know that you're still not around anything.
Let's figure if one of us gets blasted with something, then the other one can yell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, I'm just saying, I'm asking if you stop and reevaluate when you don't
I'm gonna
see.
stop at 100 feet and reevaluate.
Okay.
Following
You-
up on the
you
point.
get to
I-
100 feet.
And it didn't get any.
We
Did
haven't
it get any
moved anywhere
closer?
yet.
Do I hear anything
Oh, well, neither of you
at
heard
all?
it.
Do I hear anything at all?
You hear. I think Octavia's issue is not that they can't hear things.
Okay.
It's maybe she's a little less accustomed to cave sounds specifically, and so she's having a harder time separating it.
She
You
doesn't
don't
know what
see
she's
Kind of
hearing.
appropriate that we heard.
And you hear like some. You hear caves make noises.
Yeah,
like
totally.
So you hear some wind. You hear some dripping.
Alright, I'm gonna
You
go
hear some.
another 100 feet.
Okay. At about 200 feet. Around there, like, if you're taking it kind of like slow, you don't know. Guidance might not apply by the time you actually get to the thing. It's just, or bless. Guidance.
I did
Only
the guidance.
guidance.
I'm saving bless.
Guidance.
And I think guidance is 10 minutes.
Okay. No. I thought you said they were both a minute.
No, guidance is a minute.
Guidance is a minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. So either way, we're advancing on the thing, whatever it is. That's where I want to go.
You guys are all going now? Or no?
Are you gonna wait for us to get back, or are you coming to get us after a certain amount
No,
of time?
I was going. No, I said we're going to advance on whatever.
They
that
were going to
is.
stealth into the cave and check it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were hanging back.
Because-
sorry then. So I didn't hear that. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm hanging back then. Not very
Do
quiet.
you have a light with you?
I get a disadvantage. on stealth
I
rolls.
did. I wouldn't want to take it
Actually,
in
have
though.
a very good stealth roll.
And we both have dark vision.
Yeah. Octavia probably would Octavia have left her staff with them?
Yeah.
I mean, you can swap staffs with me. I have a quarterstaff.
Doesn't matter that much, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
It does,
So now
The
you,
difference
it
between
does
my
give me the light, though.
now you have a glow stick.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, your
I'm just gonna
staffs
leave.
aren't specifically very like whatever, so you
Yeah.
probably hand yours so they still have one, and
Yeah,
she hands
I mean,
it to you.
Mine might be a little dirty on one end because I use it as a walking stick, but like,
Yeah,
I
but
won't
other
change
than that,
anything
like you
about
take
how
it, they're
works.
both like weighted well, they're both whatever, and you feel like you can do the same thing with them. Then you guys roll me a stealth check.
Oh, thank God. 27.
7.
Cool.
Oh no, not with guidance. You said so. 6.
Okay, so you guys are headed in. You get distracted briefly by the quarterstaff, and you're like, you take a little test swing with it, like just a little one. You accidentally kind of crack the side of the cavern, and it makes a little like cracky noise. You immediately feel a little better about the stability of the cavern because nothing like falls, nothing loosens, and you're like, well, that I could hit harder if I wanted to. And you hear from deeper in there, you hear I think you speak Dwarvish?
No.
Okay.
Don't you and I both know
roll
Dwarvish?
just a flat intelligence check.
I've never known anything in my
14.
life. 4.
I thought you
So
knew
you're
Dwarvish
like
too.
somebody speaking gibberish. With a 14, like I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Hello. Fairly.
But you can understand when someone.
hello.
Yeah.
A lot of people could say hello in a lot of languages.
Yeah.
And you hear in Dwarvish, just kind of a very, very soft, not incredibly far away, a very soft, that you think is the Dwarvish for hello. But it is quiet. Like a question. Hello?
And we go back.
Okay. They're kind of waiting. Amber's sitting cross-legged.
We made a noise, and somebody said hello instead of attacking us.
I think I heard you make a noise.
Yeah.
They said hello.
They said hello instead of attacking us. I don't think.
What did they
Was
say
it
hello in?
Not sure.
Was it a quizzical hello?
It seemed like a
Or more of a hello? Like a...
It was like it was soft. It was like
Was the hello accompanied by the sound of maybe a sword being unsheathed?
that's the thing is I didn't hear one.
Okay.
It didn't seem hostile.
Also, your check was high enough to know that it seemed very intentionally soft. Like,
Well, something...
Maybe they're not supposed to be there.
Someone hiding?
The...
Like, perhaps a king?
Either way, the advantage of surprise seems to have been lost, so... Who speaks Dwarvish?
Yep.
Do you speak Dwarvish?
Yes.
Shall we?
Sure.
Let's...
Do you need to know what other languages I speak?
But maybe...
I mean,
you might be the one that can talk to this one, so let's...
did you know the king is Dwarvish?
we should check that out.
Amber goes, I don't think she can do this. She's like, nope. She goes, did it sound like, and she goes, hello? But she does it, first of all, she can't imitate anybody. And secondly, she just tries to do, if somebody whispered in Dwarvish and it was the king, because she's probably met the king, there's no way to tell. Like, she rolled a 3. Like,
Is she doing like a bad impression?
she's trying to, but she's whispering because she said it was soft. Like, so it's just like, it's like
Well, it was
totally
a male. It was a male
indistinguishable.
voice, wasn't it?
You think it was probably
I think it was a
male.
Man.
We should go
Not
check this out.
sure.
Did he sound like he had kind of blonde gray hair? Did he sound like blonde?
Okay.
Let's find out.
And she sits there for a second. She's like, "He's not. I don't know how sound blonde."
Maybe the.
I mean, aren't y'all both blondes?
No, Amber has dark hair.
Oh.
Do I sound different than other?
She goes, "Would you test? Sound like brunette?" Okay, so
Hello.
Yes? No?
No,
Why
no.
Why don't we
I
go
don't
forward?
Don't have brunette hair.
I feel as though something very wrong has happened.
Okay. Anyway.
That sounds like a brunette to me.
Did we not want to be heard?
Why? Wait. But
And she goes,
preferably,
if it was King and King pull out, he maybe not want to. Maybe something is.
that's what I'm thinking. If he's being quiet and we were being quiet, it's because we don't want anyone unfriendly to find us
Anything we undermine.
or anything. So let's go down there quietly, very quietly. Quietly as it's possible for you to move.
Take very small steps.
I want to take one step and falls over. No. Okay.
Yep.
Here we go.
If only we heard silence.
You already gave us away, right?
You know that he heard you. Or you suspect that he heard you.
Okay. I still have your staff, and it's still glowing. I'm gonna hold on to it and move, also stealth, but I can move stealthily at speed. So I'm going to be traveling faster than y'all.
Okay. So. Okay. Well, I feel like it's gonna be like.
That's how you unlock your magic powers.
Yes.
You can move stealthy at speed, but the light you do know is gonna like put you at a disadvantage.
That's
for
why I'm
stealth.
holding her stick. It has light cast on it.
Right, I'm saying like that. You can basically you can take disadvantage on perception or disadvantage on stealth, depending on if you have light, because you can't see in the dark.
That's true. I'll take the disadvantage on stealth.
Okay. Okay, so then you head up there, back where, looking for Ember stats, she should really have better passive. Okay.
Prismatic glass, that one's rock.
So go ahead and roll a. You make it down first about where they were. Go ahead and roll a perception check and a stealth check.
Okay, I'm gonna roll stealth first. $22.
Okay.
And 14 on perception.
Okay. You get about where they were. Do you think you say anything?
No. But I'll make a small, very small, like on the wall or on the floor or something. Just a slight noise to see if I get any response.
You hear, even maybe more softly than they described it, a similar like hello, but like even quieter.
I know Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Primordial, and Sylvan. Do I recognize what language they're speaking?
You know that they said it wasn't a language they knew. So it's weird to you when it's common.
It's Common.
Like it wasn't for you, and it is this time.
I'm gonna call back in Common. Hello.
And you hear like a hesitation, and then like a who's there? Everybody else roll a stealth check.
Uh-oh.
18.
And I have disadvantage on that, right?
Yep. But
So that's going to be a 3.
Ember's gonna say for inspiration.
10.
Okay.
Yours was really high. What was yours?
18.
Yeah, mine was a 2. I got a +1.
So like, you as you start to hear like, said who's there, and then your party comes, and you feel a brief moment of irritation if they just come like shuffling and clinking and
One of
all
Alabral's
up.
horns hits the ceiling.
You know,
Like, it's most, like, you can definitely tell.
I'm gonna do the thing that I saw him do, that everyone else understood, and do.
yeah, like Ember and Bronna kind of share a glance of like, because you guys both rolled relatively well.
I was trying to figure out if it was infernal, so I was looking through my thesaurus and I dropped it.
And but
And like, it's not a big book, so it's just.
I just kind of look at Ember like,
Unfortunately, everything is loud in a cave.
just kind of look over at Ember like,
It occurs to like,
Yeah,
you like,
I'm just going to own my failure.
you've heard drips, like things travel, like just like, and Ronnie does that, and like you all kind of
Shuffle
stop
to a
like
stop.
Scooby-Doo, kind of bang into each other after doing the little. It's just like, and Ronnie's like, "What am I doing here?" Like, you don't feel a lot of moments of like just supreme annoyance at the rest of your party, and you just in that moment you're like, looks like Brown is doing okay. And
Listen, I have good stealth.
yeah, both of you just like
We just-
mostly the
we
two.
Shall we
beefed
hear
it.
how high my stealth roll was?
We beefed it real bad.
Maybe it starts to wonder, like, she doesn't the infernal thing, she picks it up and then she's like, "Will magic help in a fight? How did you magic in a fight?" You get all excited. You're just like,
I mean, you've seen other people use magic in a fight.
it could be.
Well, they know.
But you think there was whispering coming back to you, but you don't know.
Hello? Hello? Shush.
You hear nothing back that time. Like, whatever it is, like, has decided, you don't know what it means.
Sorry they're so loud.
Sure. Who are they?
Say it. Say the name.
We're the strong guys. We're the strong guys.
What?
They're my friends.
Used to say that.
I'm so sorry.
If you could hear, which you can't, if you could hear a hesitation, it's like, A. And then that's what you would hear. That's not really something you can hear.
I can hear a puzzled silence.
It would be hilarious if Octavia's character is actually losing her cool right now.
It would be very bad, I think.
Hilarious, but terrible.
This is why I wanted to name the group that. It's because everyone's gonna be like,
I mean, Ronnie was 1000% on board.
Octavia glances at Ember and Ember goes, "Look." but doesn't
Octavia
say
goes,
anything.
okay.
Okay.
I'm not moving. Like,
Ember's going to see if she recognizes the voice.
genuinely not.
She doesn't.
Octavia just freezes in place.
I'm going to move forward quietly, and I just told them in sign not to move.
How far forward? You can see. You can see. You know that, like, because you have 20 feet bright light, 20 feet dim light. Because, yeah. you can see that something's not 40 feet in front of you, but you start to catch like the very maybe like it opening up a little bit beyond where you can see, but not much.
Okay.
In far 40 feet.
Yeah, I'm...
Just open it.
Dang it! I'm sorry. I'm like doing the movie theater thing.
You're not being subtle enough.
No, like you can just.
I mean, Alabroth does have
This
some
is
negative
Alabroth's
modifier
Yeah.
for stealth.
We SCNS do not need to be quiet in this moment.
Oh no!
You guys are making WBs.
Them dice are
around
cursed.
like this.
Yes, they are.
Like, so how far?
I am gonna start by just moving about 30 feet forward where they can still see me clearly, and see what lights up.
At 30 feet, you can see about another 30 feet inside, but it definitely does open up, but you can't really see into it. Like, you could just see that it opens. There's an opening up ahead.
Okay.
And which is good, because your horn did scrape the ceiling. You're having to, like, crouch some already, but you're not having to
We're in a very
squeeze
cavey
through.
cave environment.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not nearly as bad as, like, the sewer system under stresses or anything.
I'll like...
Roll another stealth check.
Damn it!
Ooh, she got a natural 17 for 24.
Damn, that would have been good.
10.
Disadvantage.
16.
I would like to just, may I leave the table, please?
No. Okay.
3.
Okay, so then they approach you. You're still not at the opening yet. You know that if they're that quiet again, that would fail going into the opening, but it hasn't yet. So, do you go ahead? Do you stay there? Because you're about, like 30 feet from the opening, but you can see it. Everybody right now is 30 feet from where it opens up.
It opens up. We're going to lose any stealth advantage once we go in there.
What a loss.
I mean, it is a loss for some of us.
I'm going to whisper that, but then we just go.
Okay.
We just go right now.
Okay.
Okay? Okay? I think not try to stealth anymore.
I think we should still attempt to be quiet,
try.
but not actually stealthing.
You don't want to do all the separating and stuff. You just want to be as quiet as you can,
Yeah.
walking forward
Yes.
together.
Yeah, walking forward normal, but like only whispers, don't stomp kind of thing.
Okay. Everybody roll one final con check, one final stealth check, one final perception check. So it is 3 rolls.
14.
Okay.
I think my con check was a nat 20.
Thank goodness.
Oh, thank God.
Is that a race one?
Con, stealth, perception?
Con, stealth.
My con was 9 plus 2, so 11.
Okay.
My stealth was I rolled a 1.
Okay.
So both sides of the spectrum from 1 die.
Yeah.
And
My stealth was a 22.
Okay.
in perception 14.
Perception 16.
You're staying.
Okay, my con was a 22.
Dope.
My stealth was a 32.
Okay.
And oh, hold on. Perception is higher than I wrote it. Perception 27.
My con was a 14.
Okay.
My stealth, 4.
Okay.
This just
And perception.
sucks.
Perception.
I rolled a 19, an
Oh,
18,
perception?
and a 19.
Oh, sorry.
Ember failed 2 out of 3, but she passed herself.
Perception is 12. Sorry.
Okay.
Woo, not my best rolls today.
I mean, you are rolling, so
Okay. What were your
it's never going to be your best rolls.
Uh,
I know it was 16 and 14. I don't know who got which.
Roll again.
I think I had the 16.
Okay.
On disadvantage.
So you guys can see there that you're headed into like another kind of low light, but there is enough light to not be at a terrible disadvantage, even without lights. That's kind of like that deep cave, like dark kind of blue with little whatever, and you see that it's opening up into like the biggest of the openings that you guys have seen since you walked in. And then you're not quite far enough to see if you can get, like, if there are other openings to that area, but it kind of feels like it went in and this is like the room and then there's nothing else, so you're not sure.
Sorry, what was that last sentence one more time?
You kind of, it feels like you're walking into like a big room
Okay.
off of which there's not a lot of openings, but you physically cannot ascertain that. That's what it just vibes like.
So the air got a little bit less dense, but we can't really figure
Well,
out.
you've been headed like down this entire.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about like that, like echoes. How
Okay.
things echo as you move
Yeah, it
forward.
doesn't sound windy. It doesn't sound as much drippy.
With your perception, it does sound a little bit windy.
Okay, well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to sound a little windy because I'm in here.
Yeah, that is true. But you all step in. Yeah, you can all see. It's dim light. Like if you try and like make perception checks to see things at like far ends, you might have a disadvantage no matter what because colors and all that. But and you do walk in. It spreads only. It doesn't open up on both sides. It's just kind of like this big to your right. It's this giant, like, it is a giant room. And you notice quickly that if you glance at the floor, that there's parts of the floor don't seem to be there. You're not sure. It's mostly around the edges. Like there might be some drop-offs around the edges of things. It seems to be some like pretty steep areas, so it's a pretty uneven floor, and
Watch
but
where
it is
you
like
step.
cavernous. You look up and like there's these giant, like, they're not like stalactites, they're like icicles, giant icicles. This one does not have the stability that you felt so far. And Alabroth even not doing great. I think you know that this isn't a mine. This doesn't look like a mine. It's definite that that the path was mining. This is something else. And you're not entirely sure what it is. And,
Mm-hmm. Seems like a dungeon.
You said the floor was uneven.
Yeah.
Are there like circles in the floor? Does it look like something dug through the floor, or does it look like the floor?
there are grooves in the floors. They're
But like very deep ones?
pretty deep. Kind of like these little giant trenches, and as you walk in, you guys see two things.
I was gonna say, can I tell what's past?
You see these giant bubbles that you've seen everywhere else, except they are all over the floor. They're not bubbles. they're something else. They're probably about like 7 feet tall, and they look like they're pretty round, and at first you think that they're stone, but when you get a little closer you notice they're kind of reflecting a little bit, and they look a little tiny bit it just looks more like, looks almost like a tiny bit fragile stone. And then you look around and you're kind of looking at how uneven the floor is and trying to figure out if you can run through it. And I know difficult terrain technically, but you're just assessing.
Yeah.
And you look there and you look to your right, and then you look and there is kind of at one point where the bubbles get like really dense, there's just like, there's these giant like,
It would be like walking on foam.
If you walked on the bubble?
Well, yeah, if you walked across it, like, it's not that, you know, there's not a lot of material there. It's just that it's so riddled with holes that it would be completely unstable.
Oh, the ground?
Yeah.
The bubbles are not bubbles at all. You might not know what they are, but they're sitting on top of the ground here.
Oh.
They're not in the ceiling.
Huh.
And the ground is still like mostly stone, but there's like a lot of ice there, and that's the other thing you see is underneath layers and layers and layers and layers of ice, you see the reflection of like pure, like you see platinum coins, you see gold coins, you see silver coins, you see a ton of coins. And as you look around, like you see kind of set aside from like that and all the bubbles you see everywhere, you notice they look a tiny bit scaly. And with that, we're going to take a break.
Shit!
We're
Well,
taking a break. We'll be back.
my assumption inwardly is now confirmed.
Dungeons and what again? What is it?
Damn it!
What is it?
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! I don't look.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back.
That's good. I like the little break thing, even though it's merely temporary.
Right before the break, you guys had noticed that you were in a room full of what appeared to be scaly eggs of some sort.
Taint dropping realization.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you were saying bubbles, I was imagining some variance in size.
Sphincter factor of 9.
There is not a lot of variance in size. They are about 7 feet tall, and yeah, they're about a person size egg thing. John Oliver would want one. He wants to be in an egg. I don't know.
I mean, I want to be in an egg.
So everyone.
Do we hear Mr. Dwarf Man?
You don't hear him at the moment. You are certain it came from this room.
So are we all pretty much certain right now what these are?
I don't know. That's really, I'm not going to make you roll for that. You guys can let me know.
Okay,
It wouldn't be on her.
I think we all figured that
I'm
out
going to
pretty
roll
quickly.
that check for Inner.
we should get out of there. Eggs.
Something large and scaly. Something large
You
and
guys
scaly.
talk at a low volume, and I will
Yeah.
count it as whispering. You're not going to blow your
Yeah.
thing right now.
They're of something large and scaly. Eggs of something of that sort. Possibly that bigger.
First of all,
I'm sorry. That's okay.
first of all, racist, but accurate.
What kind of dragon lives in a mountain?
Typically, when one goes searching, it's a 50-50 shot.
All of them? No. I
think we should be more on by the fact that we are in a dragon's nest.
Okay, this is fine.
You guys can roll like survival or something to see if you know.
To see if we survive.
Yeah.
Death is now imminent. God!
What are we rolling to see if we know?
You're saying survival to see if you
Survival.
know what
8.
anything about these.
19.
6. Which also that at least makes character sense.
Ronnie, you have a suspicion as you look around. At first, you're like, mountain? What's a mountain dragon? And then you just notice the layers and layers and layers and layers of ice everywhere.
Well,
And you're
because
like,
with my knowledge of this as favored terrain, do you still want me to roll for the out of character knowledge that I have of the 2 types of dragons that I am aware breathe ice?
what is that one? Silver? What's
Silver
that one?
and white.
Silver.
One is a lot nicer than the other, to my
Mhm.
knowledge.
To your knowledge, you do know that, like, things are different than, like, with your knowledge, you do know which dragons breathe ice. But things that you had maybe known or assumed about how hard and fast the rules are on Silver and White.
Yeah.
And then you met Alabroth and you're like, so not all of any type. Of Dragonborn, and you don't know if that reflects in that. But yeah, you know that Silver and White dragons are in mountains. Or in the ice.
Okay. This could be a nicer dragon, relatively, maybe. I mean, personalities vary. Or this could be highly likely to be, like, mean. Well, I don't really want to take the chance on the nest, but if that's the king...
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out. We don't know who that is that's in here. But they're here. And they're alive. That's just got to
Okay, I'm
for
gonna do
something.
the whisper to the person that I was talking to before.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, you hear hesitation, and then you hear, who are you? And you cannot tell where it might be coming from. You know it's in the room, but you look around, you don't see anybody.
A friend of good people.
Ember sits there for a second, and she's like,
I don't want to give them my name because I don't want to give my name because I don't know who it is. But I don't want to just like not tell them anything about me.
Ember's like, she sits there for a second. She's like, she looks at you and she says, maybe ask if it's King Delric, like if that's who he is.
Are you King Delric?
You hear a second of hesitation. He goes, yes. You can't see me?
No, I can't see you. But we're here to find you.
Okay. I'm right here. And you look around, you don't see any signs of movement, you don't see anything.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead.
Just hold out my hand and say, touch me?
What?
Touch my hand?
I can't.
Why not?
Why not?
I'm in shackles.
Okay.
Are there what is happening?
We can't see you.
Um,
I have see invisibility at will.
well, never mind. That trumps what I was going to do. Go
Yeah.
right ahead.
So I'm gonna It says verbal, somatic, and material, but it's part of the ring's magic. Do I need material components for this?
No, or you have them.
Okay.
Like, it's fine.
Ignore that.
Let's see what can't be found, and I'll turn the ring.
Dope. So you look around and you're like, that nothing's different. Like, you take a second, you change angles a few times, and there's nothing changes, nothing, and you feel pretty confident that whatever's happening is not about invisibility, or you would be able to see that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and break out a map.
Oh, man. It's when I know that you need a perceptor. I'm thinking I'm a left perceptor. But I'm a masterpiece perceptor, so I can do the don't talk to me and my son and my son.
Okay, this one is pretty basic, but that's okay.
She says,
It's a basic one.
you said that when you pulled out the hallway with all the scrolls and everything, basic, my ass. I think it was a masterpiece.
Scrolls. I did not say basic.
She did not say basic
I
on that
would
one.
not.
No, you downplayed it though, and it was
I was like, you guys have to recognize that this was really hard. But I might get to bust that one out again if you fight the thing.
that's like it was nice.
Hmm?
I didn't want that one to go away. Like, I feel like it needs to be like a hall,
It was really pretty. I still have it.
with like a little inscription. This game was played on this day.
Guys, I printed out a lot of these things.
Good idea.
No, we only sing the good Disney songs.
I like Let It Go.
I mean, that is a good song.
It just got way
It's-
overplayed.
Exactly. It was such an earworm.
And I liked Frozen 2, actually.
Really?
It went wild. They were like, remember how the first one is about, like, the sisters and, like, the princess and whatever. The second one was like, all magic is real. This is the Avatar. And, like, it went wild.
See,
It was like,
I'm
remember how
very
Kristoff,
much-
like, talks to his little moose? Like, isn't that so cute? It's a real thing, and lots of other people do it too. And you're like, whoa, okay. It was great.
It's always going to be Mulan. Just love this.
Oh no, Mulan's my favorite.
Also, Eddie Murphy. Just
It's good.
Cricket, get this down. Dishonor
See-
you. Dishonor you.
Oh!
What? Oh God, no! 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 Wait, do we have a change over to table view? I didn't tune that
yeah.
camera.
Yeah. You guys, this is Ember. You guys walked in here. And this doesn't actually, it doesn't exist.
Anybody ever watch Aliens?
I'm thinking more The Mandalorian when
Oh,
Baby
yeah, it was
Yoda
cold
starts
there.
eating.
Where is that can?
It's right here on the table. Like, I put it on the table, I just didn't,
I need it angled, please.
up, down.
Up. More. More. There. Over to the right just a little. Right there. Whoa. There we go. So, you guys look around and you're like, you still don't see anything.
Nice.
Beyond the,
I'm just a
what
transformer.
you're pretty sure are eggs everywhere. You don't know if he can see you either.
you believe magic is in play? Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I
I think so.
He's not invisible because I can't see him.
I cast Dispel Magic at level 2. Well, there's only level. It's a second level spell. So, oh wait, no. That's a third level spell. I cast Dispel Magic.
At third level?
It's the only level I have for it. So,
Yeah, but you don't have access to higher than third. Right?
Mm-mm.
no.
Okay. Roll me a d20 and add your... it is higher than a third level spell, so to dispel it, you can... forget how it works. You can roll to see if you can dispel it.
I think it's your
Yeah,
body.
it's
I think it would be
Wait,
his
wait, wait.
wisdom.
Huh?
I think it would be his wisdom.
I got it,
would
Rucker.
too, but what does it say if it's a higher level than that? And do you have to know what you're casting it on?
Any spell of third level or lower on the target ends. For any spell of fourth level or higher on the target, you have to make an ability check using your spell casting ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
Okay. It does have a high enough range.
Yeah, 120 feet.
What are you casting it on?
I think you would just cast it in the room.
We can't just cast a spell and be like, anything that's in here.
Oh.
Like, you have to choose. Choose a creature, an object, or a specific magical effect, but you have to know what it is.
This is true. I need something to focus on. And...
Hold on. Where are you?
What?
Describe where you are.
Okay.
Can you see us?
Can't see anything but the stone.
Do you see eggs?
Nice. No.
Does it sound like he's right
No.
next to us?
You cannot tell where
He says
it's
he
coming
doesn't see
from.
eggs.
Okay.
He doesn't see anything.
How big is this cavern?
It's big.
Is he up?
You take a second, you look up. You don't see anything that looks like, that makes you even, like, seriously want to check it out. That looks crazy different.
Start checking the room.
Or what does that mean?
I'm going to start going left, very quietly around the edge where the eggs are, and I'm looking to see anything that's not a giant egg sitting on the floor. Also, what are the eggs made out of?
Egg.
No. They're-
Like, I literally don't. It's eggs.
Okay, cool.
They're scalier than normal. They reflect kind of a blue and pink.
I meant what you made them
uh,
out of for the board.
They're 3D printed.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to start kind of going around the left side and looking to see if there's anything else besides egg and,
Egg.
eggs. Yeah.
Roll a stealth check.
Oh, God, no. We can't get any lower than a 1. Even though I have disadvantage on this.
So,
The good news is you don't have to roll with disadvantage.
Good news, I don't have to roll twice.
Exactly.
it's like
You hit the lowest you can go.
pretty fast. He's like, wait. If you are too loud, he will come back.
Who will come back?
The dragon.
What kind of dragon is it?
Big.
Unhappy?
Not usually when he's here. Usually he's quite smug.
Smug.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't see the platinum and the
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a she. Oh,
I mean, there are eggs.
somebody laid it.
Okay. So we can't move, can't dispel, he's not invisible.
We can move. Alabroth can't move. Because Alabroth can't be quiet.
There may be. Amber's sitting there for a second, and she's like, and she takes her hand and she takes to one of the eggs and like very, very carefully and lightly like rubs over it, and then she's like softly goes, are you maybe disguised as egg?
I was wondering that.
Maybe?
That's possible.
Or inside one.
And he's like, hey, but they said something one time. I've only been here maybe once, maybe twice, I think, that if someone came in here, they would just leave. So maybe. And so sort of the premise here is that you guys can start checking the eggs out. I don't know where he is. One of them has a giant red mark
Dot on the
underside of it.
I'm going.
You can take a turn
Oh, jeez.
to investigate one. Because you don't know like what kind of effect is on it. It's gonna take a turn.
Can we just appreciate that Kat has put us on an Easter egg hunt on this weekend?
Was that planned?
Yes, it was. You guys are on an Easter egg hunt. That's incredible.
Stupid. I love it so much.
And just because of the nature of what this is, it will take a turn to stealth.
Are you gonna stand up?
This is great.
No. I'm just gonna move this.
Okay.
But yeah, like you can.
All right.
It will take a turn.
Hold on. Before we start checking eggs, do we want to roll, quote unquote, initiative for turns on checking the egg?
You're going to have to, 'cause
Yeah.
you might as well. You can check the eggs. Alibarth, you can move without disadvantage, or you can check on one turn.
Okay.
And if you guys blow,
We're gonna die.
stealth rolls at the top of each turn, you might call something back. If your investigation check fails badly enough, you might bust something else out of an egg.
So you're giving me. I won't have disadvantage on stealth for this.
No, you will.
Okay,
If you're moving, you'll have to choose which one you do.
Understood. Okay.
But there's sometimes you wouldn't have to move. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
there's-
can just check.
There's one right there
Yeah.
next to me. So.
So like if it's
I'm
within 5
ready.
feet, you could reach one.
All right.
So yeah, go ahead and roll initiative.
This is great.
Let us know when you're ready.
Now,
Wait.
the other thing is basically the big one is going to roll initiative 2, and at that round, they're going to make a check wherever they are in the initiative turn. And if you guys have,
You speak Draconic.
I do.
Okay.
if you guys have failed enough, it depends. The DC of what the check is will be rolled according to
Oh boy.
how well you've done on stuff.
Let's do this.
Okay.
I don't know why you're laughing.
I love this. I am so the threat of death, and we're on an Easter egg hunt. This is great.
I think this is a fun, different thing.
Right on. I'm all for this.
Okay, so
We're
I'm
gonna
ready.
die.
You keep laughing, I'm gonna murder you.
You know that people like do the hysterical laughter. When they know that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, go ahead with
Do you want to start at the top? Or?
17.
Okay.
So, yes, start at the top.
10.
Octavia.
10.
Okay. Which of you has higher depths?
Me.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and give it out. I'm going to check my
I was
number.
gonna say she's a monk. Yes.
Exactly.
19.
Interestingly, Ember also got a 10. No, Ember did get an 11. Yeah. Ronnie?
16.
Oh,
Ronnie, Ember.
Like the one time I don't know if I really want to.
I mean, can't fail on the stealth roll, can you? I mean, well, yeah, you can.
That's not funny from this half of the table.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't.
like,
He has to
gonna
say,
be like-
there's a reason he failed. I rolled
I
a
could-
2.
I could
Because
have
I was thinking
Well, now I get
that,
a
like,
choice.
your stealth is so high, and then I'm like, but your rolls.
Like, let's put it this way: I could have loaded dice that only roll 20s. I would still roll a 1. That's just how it be.
I have a scratch.
So the dragon rolled a dirty 20. Basically, it's going to be like a DC that changes, but also that gets less and less depending on how the battle's gone longer, because it's cumulative effect of how much noise you've made. Like a little bit.
Yeah.
So at first he would need to roll very, very high. But he did roll dirty 20 for initiative, so the first check he has a plus, like, I might do this in front of the table. His first one is 4, so no, he didn't notice yet.
Is
So-
that our DC for the next round?
That's not like at his turn he's gonna check to see.
So his next perception will be the DC for this round.
Not exactly, because he does have higher perception, but like if a certain number, if you fail, the DC for this round is only 12, but it will go up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, top of the round.
All right.
Are you guys clear on what happens, or at least how
Yeah.
your part operates?
Clear enough.
Okay.
I would like a rundown again.
Okay, so basically, on your turn, you can inspect a dragon egg.
Are we rolling something for that?
Yeah, you're gonna roll investigation checks.
Okay.
So you can inspect a dragon egg, and there's really no way of failing if you can ascertain if it's a dragon egg or something else. You can't fail that. What you can fail is if you can do it in a way that doesn't, like, encourage the egg to crack open. And you're also going to roll stealth. So you roll investigation, you roll stealth. When you roll the investigation, you pick up the egg and you look underneath it to see if it has the thing. I don't know where it is. You could pass right away. It is not a settled mark. It is a giant red undercolored dot.
You painted the whole thing, basically.
Okay,
Close enough.
Took a Sharpie and was just like, yes, you will know.
go for it.
Front.
Alright, if I'm checking the egg right next to me, do I still have to roll a stealth?
No, if you're not moving at all, you do, but I'm going to make most of you move most of the time, just to...
Yeah, I just figured this
No,
one's right
since
next to
that
me.
one's right next to you, starting out, like, it's fine.
Nine
Okay.
for
so that's-
investigation?
Oh, for the investigation.
Yeah, because you said I didn't have to roll the stealth.
Right, you're right.
So I still check under the egg?
Yeah, definitely. Check under the egg.
Damn.
Nothing under there, and put it down somewhere.
You know, it's still an egg, you know. Oh, okay, that's good, yeah.
You can take it off, honestly, the board if you want. Like,
Oh,
it's
'cause
not
we have-
a
No,
big deal.
leave it.
It just
Well,
be too
we've already-
hard.
But if we do battle, we still need to avoid
I'll
stepping on them, right?
moving them on their sides would probably be best right now because
Okay.
then we still have where they are. Because if a battle starts, we can put it upright again.
So, basically, the investigation is not a giant part of the component. If you
Yeah.
got a 1 on it, you might crack it open.
Yeah, that
But, like, that's fine.
the is if I cracked it.
Take
open.
a second and kind of gingerly, like, touch it. It just, like, your arm doesn't go through it or anything. You're pretty sure. It feels kind of, like, cold, and it occurs to you that these are probably cold throughout. It's just kind of a weird sensation because it feels egg-like, but you kind of bumps on the outside. And,
Odd.
Like if an egg was 50 times bigger than
yeah,
an egg
well,
is.
no, like if it had scales on it. Like
Skills on the egg.
Yes.
Okay.
And feels creepy. It's cold, and it's like there's something inside, and you don't know what it is, and you don't know how close it is, and you don't know if you would notice if there was liquid inside the egg still or anything, and it's just kind of surreal to be like,
It's one of those like, I'm touching a dragon egg.
mm-hmm.
I could die in any second.
Also occurs to you in that moment, like, are they about to hatch 30 white dragons? Like,
yeah.
that's not great.
It's a little scary.
That's a thought, but it's like immediately pushed to the back of his mind because
I
like
can't deal with this right now.
cannot deal with that stress.
Okay, Ronnie.
I got 32 stealth.
So you're not gonna trip any sort of anything. Okay.
And I do have enough movement, I think, to get all the way across.
25.
I feel like that's a really smart move
It's one of
with
those
the higher stealth and the
It's not a good
whatever.
call.
Yeah.
Not a big
To get over
compliment.
there.
Well, because since this is part of my favorite terrain, my bonus is boosted up.
Your proficiency is doubled and
Yeah.
yeah.
22 investigation.
Dope. Go ahead and knock one of those over. Sorry, I'm not gonna get up, but I'm gonna make you guys get up a lot.
That's fine.
No, didn't find it. Damn.
I can't believe you guys are making Easter egg. Okay, that is your turn.
He is risen.
Indeed. Ember.
Hashtag.
Ember moves over 5 feet. Can you grab that egg while you're there?
Is it?
Her stealth was a nat 20.
Nope.
Damn.
And
No,
her
side.
investigation.
So this is mostly so we know which ones we've already checked.
Her
Yeah.
investigation's high.
I understood the premise. I just forgot.
That is
Nice.
her turn. Octavia.
If it's less than half my movement, can I have advantage on
No.
stealth?
Nice try though. Oh, that's good.
23.
Nice.
I was like, oh, and then I rolled a 19.
I like
You're
that.
gonna get rolled again. It's an 11 plus 1.
I appreciate the
Well,
difference.
you're
Oh wait,
Not
sorry.
that
I
over.
wanted to do here.
Yes, I'm still gonna make you move next turn. You can't just like. Did you find it?
Seriously?
We might not die. We might not die.
We as players are just very excited.
So you cross the room, and you kind of
Immediately
watch
find
them
it.
do the thing, and you're like, okay. And so you take and you lightly lay your hand on it, and you're like,
Do you do?
I'm gonna reach in and grab him. Oh, I can't reach.
you can reach in, like you don't immediately like grab something, like it's just
Okay, so
bigger
is
than
it-
that because it's like
I don't. Is it like a shell? Is it
not
that he's
anything.
in an egg?
It's
not.
an
There's
illusion?
nothing in it.
There's nothing.
Like it's
that
like the
you
dome.
You can't reach into it and grab him because you don't know. Like you reach in.
Then that's what I do. Yeah, I reach in.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
then like you
Say
have a little bit
something?
more time than that? I'm just saying you don't grasp anything right away. Do
Okay.
you put your head in it? Do you
Do you say
reach
something?
up and down? Do you like?
I would reach, I guess, shorter than me.
Okay. You kind of feel something down there.
But I can't grab it.
I mean, you can grab it.
That's what
and
I do.
then- So you grab it.
Yeah, but I can't pull it out because you
He's
said I
shackled.
couldn't.
You grab it. Do you try and pull? You try and
Yeah.
pull it out.
Yes.
Okay. It has a little give and then it stops and he's like, "Hello." Like
Yes, yes. Hey, everybody. Yes.
I think she's found him.
Okay.
I think she's found him.
Are we still in? We're still in initiative, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
Saddlebroth's, I think.
is, it's Alabasta.
We found the damn egg.
Mm-hmm.
We're still in initiative.
You're still in initiative, technically.
And
You don't have to move. Just a reminder.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah, basically, like, at this point, somebody's gonna have to, like, unlock him, maybe, or he's still shackled. And, yeah.
I
so,
do
like,
have.
you
I think
cannot move.
lockpicking kit.
And you don't even have to dispel the magical effect. And Octavia can also try and unshackle him.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Just
could
not on
dispel.
that turn.
I could dispel the magic from over here. I don't have to get that's 120
Yeah, you
feet.
can. It was more about the level of spelling if you want to.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and do the dispel magic thing.
Okay.
Wait,
I already have him. You might
Okay.
not need to.
If he's trapped in an egg,
I don't think he is. I think I could just pull him.
He's shackled. He said he's shackled. Don't you need to see what you're doing?
dispel magic on the egg.
Yes, you dispel the magic on the egg, like you see a man, a dwarven man, like shackled to the ground. Basically, there's a loop, and there's not anywhere else, but like a loop, and he has chains on his hands and chains on his feet, and the egg just disappears. Everything else is real and stays there, but all of a sudden, the illusion that appeared to be around the egg is gone. And, yeah, his feet and hands are shackled.
That was Alarin's
It's the
turn.
dragon's
Who's next?
go.
Dragon.
Oh, yeah, the dragon.
No.
You
Already
rolled
did
a
it.
nat one.
Oh my god.
So,
Alright,
top of the order, Brana.
I'm gonna roll stealth to get over there.
Yep.
I'm just, like scared.
Yeah, like, if you guys nat one stealth, you're gonna have issues.
No, he didn't, thankfully. I'm doing math. 14?
14, okay, cool.
And what I have thieves tools. How would you like me
It's
to?
Dex plus proficiency.
Can't do concentration from over here.
Okay, so. And that's the bonus I have to roll.
Mm-hmm.
Can I unlock both, or can I only do one?
You can succeed on only one, but you can try twice, like with your action and bonus action.
Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and roll 2 die then.
Yeah.
Okay. 20.
Yeah, you get his hands pretty fast. You notice that, like, even though, like, when you run up, he kind of, like,
Sorry.
cowers, and he's like, it's okay.
Get the hands. And I'm gonna the second attempt. 15.
The second one, no, it takes you, like, as you succeed, it takes you just too long that you feel like you started. Like,
Okay.
And you can leave the tools in it in case somebody else wants to try. So you fiddle with it and you start to hear making progress, but you don't quite get the leg irons. Ronnie.
What's 16 plus 14?
30.
That's what my stealth was.
I think that you're fine.
How do you have such a high stealth? It wouldn't let me put that much in there.
This is my favorite terrain.
Oh, that's right.
And my normal bonus is only 7.
Okay. I was like,
That makes much more sense.
yeah.
And I can
Do a split.
do
Ronnie.
the splits.
Ronnie does a little split for the game.
I can attempt the roll.
You can attempt the roll. You don't get a proficiency bonus unless you're proficient with these tools.
No, I'm not proficient.
So you can take your dex bonus, but not proficiency.
Okay, I'll try it.
It's worth a shot.
15 plus 4, 19.
Close. But
Fuck.
not quite. That's Ronnie. Ember's gonna come over just kind of close to Brana. South. She did fine. And she puts her hand on Brana's shoulder and she's like, "You can do this." And she goes, "Hello, Your Majesty." And he's kind of like, he looks more concerned. And he goes, "Ember, is that you?" And everybody can make an insight check if they want.
It's the only time I will ever do good on
What
insight.
did you roll?
18.
7.
I'm not insightful today.
13.
I joined the 2 crew.
The 2 crew.
That's good. I didn't actually want you to notice anything. Like anybody. Nobody notices anything.
Not with
It
an
was-
18?
And it was a very high DC.
Oh.
And Ember goes, "Yes, I am here." And he goes, "Have you seen my boys?" She's like, "No." And he goes, and he just kind of like hangs his head for a minute. And that's all that happens. Octavia.
I'm going to give Brana the help action.
Dope. Alabra.
I'll start pointing at the lock and being like,
What
do
are
it!
you going to do on your turn? Anything?
Let's see. I'm
But
not going to do
quietly.
anything. No.
Yeah, very quietly.
What?
Guidance or bless or something.
No, I
There,
got to
right?
touch somebody. Well, not bless. Bless, I got to be within like 30 feet, I think.
But guidance is touch, and bless wouldn't help with this.
Yeah. Are you hurt? I can heal you from over here.
That was ability checks and saving throws.
Yeah,
What
I'm
was
just.
bless?
Just attack rolls and saving throws.
He's out of range.
So, just going to stay here
That's fair.
by the
Totally,
door, watching
totally
the door.
fair. So, I don't. He'd have to roll that 20, which he didn't. Brana, it is your turn. You have advantage plus a d6.
You need to leave, man.
We went as soon as we get this guy.
I'm gonna roll these one at a time so if they knock into each other, it doesn't fuck out. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's worse. So cool. That's cool. So, this was
It was a 17.
yeah 17, 25.
25 is enough. Like with 25, like you take a second, and for a second you feel like you're gonna like freak out and Brana this up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, in between, it's just nice. All these people have your back, and you're like, just like fiddle with it for a second, and like in a shockingly short amount of time, the irons like break open. You feel the tumblers like within, kind of like
Clink.
and yeah, and then calmly just put the bobby pin back in your hair, and put the tools away in your bag, and he tries to stand up. He does not stand up. He starts to stand up, and he just kind of like collapses. But with all of you there, you kind of give him a hand and stand him back up, and he's like, he goes, "We should go."
I like that plan a
How
lot.
heavy are you?
He
I'll
kind
rock.
of looks at you and like,
I'm pretty sure Alabroth can carry him.
I think
you don't
everybody.
ask a girl her weight.
Oh, yeah, favorite.
And he might be a dude. But
How heavy are you? I might be able to carry you out.
it's probably because he's short. Like you help him up and you notice like he doesn't come up
Yeah.
as much as you would. He's probably about pushing 4 feet, so he's probably about 160 or something. He's
That's
incredibly stout.
I was gonna say
He's
that's
a dwarf.
probably about as
Can you levitate him and then we'll pull him like a balloon?
I don't think you'd appreciate it.
I could.
So funny though.
That would be so funny.
I could. Would you be okay with that, Your Majesty?
It's a balloon. Whatever. And he takes a second and like, let's see. Now after a second, he's like, I think I can walk. Let's
Okay.
go. So you guys, this is kind of like the big like shit battle that Matt had, where it's like, so I guess we don't do that. Yeah. So you guys exit the cave, yes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Stealthily.
Everybody roll final stealth check. And Alabroth, you don't have to take disadvantage because you didn't move, and I want to reward that. That was the smart thing to do, and it's hard not to do anything.
Okay. I actually got a 14 this time, so it's like the best stealth roll I've ever done.
Okay.
With this guy, at least.
Yeah. Ember, both failed, but not dramatically so.
We just bypassed a big distraction.
29.
21.
11.
We just scrolled by.
Barely. Because they got she got a 9 and he got an 8. But like, you guys all cleared 10, the rest of you. So pretty quietly, you make it back out. And you head back, and I say you make it as far as like the opening you were in before you started headed
The big
that
pretty
way.
one?
Wait, we had... Oh, shit. There was something I wanted to do before we headed out.
What do you want to do?
Huh?
What did you want to do?
Nothing.
Was it loud?
Was it worth hanging around and waiting to see if the dragon comes back?
No.
Okay.
We're out.
And, like,
that's the two things. Was
You
it
make
loud?
it to that opening, and
Would it be worth meeting the dragon?
It wouldn't be on brand with my character to do, but it's like, there was an awful lot of platinum around there. Just saying.
I see what
And
you wanted to do.
we nicked none of it.
And I feel like that was the smart.
below,
It was
like 20 feet of
under
ice.
the ice.
Yeah, it was under the ice.
Oh, then never mind. Okay.
It was not. It was gettable, but it would be hard, and it would be a lot of
Yeah, it would not be worth it.
No.
It's like it's a dragon pool. What are they going to miss, you know?
Yeah, like
I mean, don't
If we-
dragons know every piece of
I feel
it?
like
Yeah,
even-
like I was about to say, Smaug noticed when a cup was taken.
This is true. Just coming home like, oh.
Anyway, we
even
get back out.
Alabroth, I think, would notice it and be like, man, that's a lot of risk, that's a lot of work, that's a lot of whatever.
It's a lot of not worth it.
So you get out to that opening, and the king's kind of like, okay. He's like, you haven't seen my sons, and then he starts weeping, like openly, just weeping.
I'm gonna take out like a handkerchief and hand it to him.
He sits there and he's like, he kind of nods at you, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm so grateful. And we probably have to go all the way out. Something tricked me into coming here, and I thought it was my sons. I thought I was with my sons. And they said, when they shackled me in there, that, and he stops and he breaks down even further, and then he collects himself and he's like, he said he was surprised that I would even think that, because my sons don't have any eyes and are missing fingers. I don't know where they are, but I suspect wherever they are, they can't see.
Changelings.
It was one of them was. And he looks at Ember and he's like, that's why when I saw somebody else I recognized.
Those bastards.
I don't know.
We have to get him back. Hurriedly.
When's the last time you saw your
I don't know.
We
Are
could.
they missing?
We don't know, Your Majesty, but it is imperative we return you to your kingdom now with no delay.
And I will say, Alabrock, you know that, like, he will be safe in Black Rest as well, like, on the way back, that he's well enough liked, he's
Right.
more of a diplomatic role, that you don't have to, like, try and smuggle him through Black Rest or anything like that. You might not have a ton of details, but, I'm not disagreeing with your point. It is very imperative that he goes back, but you're not concerned about the idea of putting...
I'm also concerned that someone is going to notice that he is gone, and they will be on our heels as soon as they recognize it.
By someone, do you mean a massive white dragon?
I don't
know.
I don't
Awesome
think
bastard.
Whoever hid him inside the dragon's nest.
Although, counterpoint, the one who hid him in that nest, what if it's the same changeling we've been looking for?
Oh,
I think it might be.
I wasn't hidden from the dragon. The dragon can see through illusions. I was hidden from everyone else. The dragon... I think maybe the dragon was supposed to kill me. Maybe. But, like... They have different ideas of loot. And what's special or what's part of their... I think it was a nobleman, like a person of some, and he laughs a kind of tiny bit. He's like stature, like.
You're a piece of treasure.
understand, everyone. He is going to be wanted by several parties.
Oh, absolutely.
We need to secure him as quickly as possible.
And the king goes, he sits there for a second. He's like, I don't know where my sons will be. I think they maybe.
Do you think they were in that nest with you?
No.
No.
I
Oh,
don't
thank
think
goodness.
so, because I've called in response to sounds I heard several times.
Other than just with us?
Yeah, and I don't think so. I think they may be down here. They may have. I don't know. They can't see.
We can take him back to Blackrest and we can come back here. But
Because I don't think I'm in immediate danger. They surely. You even would want to collect the reward.
Is there a reward?
There was a reward?
the reward will be
Always.
pointless if something were to happen to him.
We're walking.
He glances at Ember, and Ember
Oh,
looks
that's
at you,
good.
and she goes, "We're going. We should get out of cave and speak."
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you guys take the next few minutes, and it's kind of quiet as you walk out, and you're back in the... I would say you can choose whether you go outside right away or whether you stay just inside the mine, but at a point where you're not super concerned right now.
I think we'd go outside and then kind of go off if we could, just so the noise isn't going.
Yeah, so we can talk at a normal volume again.
Go
I
outside and
also-
go...
Go out of the mouth of the mine and
Yeah.
then directly to one side. That way we're
Okay.
not talking. Because if you
Okay.
talk at the entrance to a cave,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
really
I
loud.
want to get. I'm all
Yeah.
for getting out
I
of
want
here.
to get completely out of it so that
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the
whatever
very
is
least,
in
I
there
want to get
can't
back to
hear us.
Blackrest. We've got him.
The king is he's he goes outside with you, and he's like, I want to figure out in some way, and my sons are in here in this mine, just leave. And then Ember's she kind of pulls herself for a second into more formality, and she's like, we shall discuss, but also there are introductions to be made. And she goes, King Daldric, this is my current associate, someone with whom I have been traveling and working. This is Octavia, last name?
Then Darwin?
Vin Darwin. Octavia Vin Darwin, also Order of Kestrel Dawn. And she is part of the Strong Guys. No reaction to it this
Dear
time.
God.
She was part of Strong Guys with her companions, Brana and Ronnie and olive broth. And
I'll do the formal court bow.
and the king, he's like,
I don't know the formal court.
yeah, he's
Like
like,
this would, this is the very formal court bow.
he's
but-
like, he looks at all of you and he's like, I appreciate it. No need for such formality right now. Just nice to know each of you. And you guys kind of sit there. She rummages around her pack and she gives him some rations, and
Yep.
you guys give him some water, and he's like, he takes a second. He's like, and he looks at Alibroth and he's like, the rewards are not published. We don't want to encourage the kidnapping or the bounty hunting per se, but yes, there is a sustainable reward. Probably even could be collected in Blackrust, and there are additional rewards, and he kind of stops and he breaks down a little bit again. He goes, for my children, even if they come out of my, I don't care about any of that.
Your Majesty, the reward is not the most important thing here.
I agree, that's why we don't talk about
We
it.
also have been framed by this changeling.
Or changelings.
Plural, singular, yes.
He sits there for a second, he's like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they're working with the dragon. I don't know how many there are. These orders of pure chaos are not new. It seems to be anarchist. I suspect they're trying to restart a war. Especially if my children, their ages, have been tortured. But also, like, why would you not just kill me and leave me at the border? It seems like that would start it. They wanted the dragon to be involved somehow. They're trying to spread chaos, and I do not know.
There's some deeper plan afoot.
To our understanding, the plan was to kill you and leave you at the border.
Then why did they take me to the dragon?
Were we supposed to find him?
Maybe.
What are you talking about?
We just took something from a dragon's hoard. Were we supposed to find him?
This can't be about us.
It's not about us, but we
So-
might be the catalyst to set off a dragon.
It may not have been us specifically that they wanted to take from the dragon. It could have been anyone. But would that cause a war? What does a dragon do if you take from its hoard?
I don't think dragons are political entities, though.
He's like, and that's why I'm confused. And Ember's like, I have encountered this kind of chaos before. They are not always super well planned. Maybe. And she glances at the king and she's like, maybe a water restarting was one possibility. And like, kind of leaves off any mention of the kids maybe turning up somewhere. And it's like, maybe restarting war. Also, angry dragon.
Dragons kill.
Right.
If, if they are angered,
And we just took from a dragon's hoard.
Why don't we go?
Why don't we get as far away from the cave as we can?
maybe.
But eventually this dragon is going to notice we were here. Something
maybe he
doesn't
will
matter.
notice.
All the more better for us to not be near the mouth of the cave when it's
Very
dark.
optimistic of you.
Ember,
We should leave.
like, kind of glances, and the king's like, I am not going to leave until I know if my sons are there.
Oh dear.
In the cave, in the mine.
Are
I
you,
don't know where they are.
There's no way to know. We can go back in there, but you're the only one to
should not
stop.
be here.
we need to secure you, your man. We will go back in. We will go back in. But we should... Blackrest is not that far away. My father is head of security. He can make sure that you're secured, and we will come back.
Well, we need to make sure that you're safe.
And that no one else can recapture you.
Ember's like, should we... I can go in, Kate. I can take King to Blackrest, maybe.
Maybe take King to take the King. Sorry.
Are you making fun of your mentor?
Her
Yeah, cool.
her speech pattern got into my head. Maybe take the King. Yes, take the King to Blackbreast.
Should that? You guys are group, so maybe. And you can tell, like, she's not dying to leave. She doesn't really like it, but at the same time, she's like, this does.
Do you feel safe exploring in those caves while we're not here too?
Oh.
You know, for a given value of the word safe.
Is the king like maybe throwing his hands every now and then?
The king, no.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
There's
He's a king.
nothing about you. Like, he is
He said
stout.
it's the King of MILF, and I was like, I mean, by definition, I
I did
don't
not
think
say
so.
I said through hand. How did you pull milk? Anyway.
He is stout. You take a second and you glance over him. He's wearing, like, robes. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
not armor, and there's not weapons, and he strikes you as one of those people that used to fight, but, like, hasn't recently, and,
Recently, we mean within the last 20 years.
yeah, maybe 100, you don't know. And he's, but also he is, gaunt comparatively. It's very
Then he's a
dark
liability.
circles.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also
So,
weak.
like,
Yeah, so
maybe, but also not right now.
okay, he needs to go back to Blackrest. We can continue about the cabin, and Lady Ember, please go to my family and inform them of our verification process.
She sits there for a second and she looks at the king, and the king is obviously, like, reluctant to leave, but also understands that, like, he's not going to be that helpful. And she goes, we will head back. And the king said, he looks at her and he goes, we will stay here for a few days in Blackrest.
In Black.
All of us
In Black.
He's like, and he looks at you and he goes, are you the Druid clan?
Yes, Your Highness.
Magnificent. You said your family, your father. We can stay with your father, or have a detail. We will go to your family.
If they have any need of an explanation, I will be back to give them one. But in the meantime, I need them to do this.
Kind of looks a little, like, rueful, and he's like, people do not usually ask me for explanations, or...
I'm terribly sorry.
No, it's fine. Yes, we will be. And he seems like, and you see him kind of, like, prop up some, and you actually, like, start to get it. He's regaining some of his composure, and he looks kind and, like, humble, but, like, he's starting to bring a little bit of formality back now that he's kind of composed, and he's like
Starting to look regal again.
mm-hmm. And you see, like, he has a long, like, blondish grayish beard, and you see that the braids are a little grown out from his time in there, but, like, very put together normally. And he looks at Alabroth and he clasps his arm across the chest and he's like, thank you, sir. And they turn off and they start to head back. And that's where we're going to close today. Anything else?
All right, it's fitting that we close
Just
out.
right before we go in the cave, I need to make sure of something. Did he seem a lot more chill than you were expecting?
We did just save him from the confines of a...
It just seemed a lot more like, I don't know, not so stuffy.
I mean, he didn't seem stuffy, but I wouldn't say he seemed chill. He cried several times.
Alright, that's the only thing I wanted to know.
Also, not particularly polite to be stuffy around those who have saved your life.
Not going to lie, wasn't sure really what to expect. I've never met.
I've never met a king
I was
before,
just
but I
didn't
feel
seem
like that's...
stuffy.
I've met rich people before, and they
So
were
we're
a
just
lot worse.
fanboying after the king.
He seems like a guy you could hang out with.
Like a
I
guy
wouldn't
you can
mind.
grab a beer with.
I mean, he is a dwarf.
Alright.
That
Anyway.
has been our session. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining
Thank
us. We survived yet again. They're snowing.
This
through
one
my
by the
dragon.
skin of our teeth.
We had exactly one stroke of luck.
The first one, it was like that fourth fucking egg, too. There
It
were like
was.
25 fucking eggs.
You were so
Anyway.
excited to make us fight a dragon.
That's it. Thank
That's
you for
still
joining.
clearly on the table.
Check out us everywhere, and as we always like to say around here,
Keep on nerding!